County jail cell on the 12th floor of the Hall of Justice and escorted to the jail shower room on the 14th floor. There, he was to take a bath and change to his civilian clothes for his appearance in court. While he was in the shower room, he turned on the hot water faucets, filling the room with steam to hide his actions from the guard. He succeeded in forcing his way through a door, up the stairs, and got to the roof of the building. Realizing that he couldn't escape down through the building, he dropped over the edge of the roof, down 18 feet, landing on top of a ventilator shaft. From there, using the metal flanges on the shaft, he climbed 7 stories down the outside of the building. At the 8th floor, he kicked open a window and got inside an office of the building. He slugged a bailiff who tried to stop him, and then he ran down the remaining flights of stairs into the street and disappeared into the crowd. 20 minutes later, he robbed a dentist's office at 3rd and Los Angeles Streets and got away. Police and sheriff's deputies covered the city for him. Frank and I were among them. 11:55 p.m. We checked back into the office. Hi, Skipper. How about Hoffman? Anything new?
Nothing. Not a trace of him.
He must have a good friend someplace in town.
Everything's covered. His friends, relatives, his hideout, everyone he knows, every place he's ever been. We plugged every loophole we can think of. The depots, terminals, the airports. Still no trace of him.
I don't know. Sure is a strange one.
No stranger than climbing down the side of a building.
Did you check that story out, Captain?
It's the truth. Apparently Hoffman planned the thing out pretty carefully.
Well, how do you mean?
The sheriff's men talked to some of the prisoners in the jail. They said Hoffman was practicing for it since the day we put him in there. He'd work out 5 to 6 hours every night, building up his hands and fingers.
Well, how'd he do that?
He used the upper bunk in his cell. He'd hang from the edge of it with the tips of his fingers. He'd do it for hours, pulling his body up and down. He made little grooves in the wall, dug his fingertips into them. Prisoners say he got so he could hold himself up like that 10 minutes at a stretch.
That's pretty amazing.
Robbery, did he? Yeah, little John. I sent him out about 10 minutes ago to relieve you. Should be there any minute. Right.
What about our schedule, Skipper?
As far as I know, we'll go all night on this. Sheriff's office the same.
Uh-huh.
You two were relieved at 11:30. Better check back in here at 5:30 a.m., okay?
Right. Hot shot. I'll get it.
What is it?
Drugstore holdup. They think it was Hoffman. The scene of the holdup was the Rex Lake Pharmacy on the corner of Pico Boulevard and Pine Lake Street. The victim, a Mr. Clarence Geringer, told us that the holdup man had entered through a rear door, slugged him, and escaped on foot with his overcoat and about $150 in cash. We showed him a number of mugshots. He identified George Hoffman as the bandit. A special detail of men were ordered on a thorough search of the general area around the drugstore. No sign of the suspect. The citywide Dragnet continued all that night and into the next day. No developments. The search went on. A week passed. At 10 p.m. on the day Hoffman was scheduled to be tried in Superior Court, he beat up and robbed a 40-year-old liquor salesman in the Highland Park area. Again, he made good his escape. Routine investigation failed to turn up a thing. We continued to check out every possible lead.
Look at that. That's a bad one.
Yes, sir, it sure is.
That pretty little mess is going to cost me 15 brownies.
Brownies?
Brownies, railroad demerits.
Oh.
Gee, now I won't be able to go to the convention in Cleveland. They won't let me in.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's all right. I ain't got the money to go anyhow.
Yes, sir. Well, now, this fellow you say you saw last night, Townsend, are you sure it was Hoffman?
You betcha. I saw his picture in the paper when he climbed down and escaped. I don't say I'm positive it was him, but I'm dandy on faces. Maybe the whole system was out of kilter. Oh, there's a good reason for it, of course. The whole railroad just needs a complete overhauling. Way overdue.
Wonder if you'd mind checking through these pictures, Mr. Townsend.
Well, not at all. Gee, that's a mean-looking one. Well, that looks like Harvey, the president of our railroad club. Which isn't, though. He wears a brush. That's the one. That's him. Am I right?
Yes, sir, that's Hoffman. Do you happen to know where he's staying?
Yes, an auto court on Royal Oaks Avenue. He's been there for a month. Say, Sergeant, If you find out it really is this Hoffman, don't tell Mrs. Cox at the outer court. It'd just break her heart.
That's so?
She's sort of an amateur detective. She thinks she knows faces better than I do. Say, you sure that isn't Harvey?
After we left Roy Townsend, we called the office and filled them in. Captain Didion called Pasadena and notified them. Then we drove out to the auto court in which the suspect was reportedly seen.
Yes, you want something?
Yes, ma'am. You Miss Cox?
Yeah, I'm the manager here. If you want lodgings, we're all filled up. You might try the Golden Eagle straight down the street there.
We're police officers, Mrs. Cox.
Could you hold that up a little closer?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a man named Hoffman staying here?
Hoffman? No, I don't. Got a Hoffmeyer, though. Sure that's not it?
What if you'd look at this picture, please?
Could you hold that a little closer, please?